2017. It was an interesting year. We spent half of it in Timor Leste and the other half in Switzerland. We arrived on the last June days, just in time to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday and enjoy the warm summer. We would spend the next 3 months on furlough. What is furlough, you ask? Well, it's a weird mix of spending time with family and friends, visiting churches and having presentations. Ideally, you would also find time for yourself and charge up your batteries. I guess one way of doing this is jumping on a boat and enjoy the scenery with nothing else on your agenda. Mountains. Of course you got to check out the mountains and observe their natural inhabitants, the cows. We call it cow watching, similar to whale watching in Timor, but here behind a safe fence. It's a real thing. No, it's not. And then this happened. This would mark the end of our furlough, and I would start working for MAF from our home office in Switzerland. And we also did a language training. This also meant that Deb's due date is approaching fast. First week of December, that's what they said in Timor. And then they even pushed it back one more week in Switzerland. But when we got past this date, we tried everything. We went as high as we could, well above the fog line, but it didn't help anything. Clear blue sky with the Eigermanken Jungfrau in the background? Well, yes please. They all have to come out in one way or the other. So 11 days past the due date, he finally arrived. We called him Eli, which is Hebrew meaning "Hi" or "My God." Eli's birthday also started the countdown to our departure. We had to wait 2 months till we could vaccinate him and do the first couple of checkups. Then it was time to pack. We took it very seriously and used checklists a lot. Well, we probably should have, because I had to unpack the suitcases 3 times, and even at the airport I had to leave a bunch of stuff with my parents, because we were way overweight. Brothers? Yeah, you better cross that one off for now. We are quite busy with you. Then it was time to say goodbye to the mountains one last time. That guy's nickname over there is the Swiss Pyramid. And 4.5 years ago I invited my future wife for breakfast up there and later proposed to her. And guys, I can tell you, it totally worked. I hope we carpe diemed our days in Switzerland well. I think so. But before you even notice it, you are through the customs and all the goodbyes are suddenly behind you. The transfer train with a guy throwing a flag with a huge plus sign on it, and also yodels like his life depends on it, indicates that there is no turning back now. And soon you are soaring on 40,000 feet. Eli was hanging in there quite well and sneezing his way all the way to Dubai. Dubai was our first stop, and initially we planned a 24 hours layover to check out the city, but because of some changes in the flight schedule, we were heading off in the next morning. And to be honest, I wasn't sad to leave that gigantic shopping mall, which also happens to be an airport. It's just way too busy there. Again, an A380 outside waiting, and soon over 40,000 feet, same as before, but this time with a longer layover at our next destination. And this just because they cancelled our flight to Delhi and moved it to Saturday. Singapore, a place where they chose to build a boat on top of a building, and where banks build a dense concrete jungle with their finance temples. The weather was nice and hot, around 35 degrees Celsius. This was quite a stretch from the minus temperatures we were accustomed to in Switzerland. At the waterfront awaits a welcoming breeze and of course Merlion, a thing half lion, half fish spitting out water. And once it's dark enough, a couple of guys on a boat take out their fancy flashlights and put on a show which is quite impressive. And then the lion, the fish thing, lights up too, together with the rest of the city. But watching the lights and playing tourist wasn't our goal. We used the time to let Eli adapt to the heat and the time difference. He did a great job and coped really well. After the small break in Singapore, we jumped on a smaller plane and left the chaos all behind us. It was about that time when the first Indonesian island came into view and the quietness sunk in, that we realized that soon we will be in a total different world, which will be our home for another 2 years. But there was a guy next to me which couldn't care less.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Dili. Please ensure seatbelt is secure, fasten to the belt stone. Sit back into the upright position and your window shades are drawn open for your safety. That shall be first time. Thank you.
And yeah, that's Dili. Still in the wet season. Soon I would fly along those ridges and try to find a path to the destination before the drier weather kicks in and makes flying a bit easier. I was wondering what has changed during our leave. Would it be any easier to get back into the life here in Timor, since we now know the culture and the environment? Can we cope with the new lifestyle? Well, we were about to find out. The hangar right there is MAF's, my office for the next 2 years. One of the 2 planes already left Timor for Australia and will be replaced in a few months with the same type but a turbo model. But I'm jumping ahead now. Another change I have noticed is that there are a bit fewer planes coming to Dili, and the 2 white hangars over there are now empty. The helicopter company got replaced and they moved out of Timor. Wet season also means green season. All the flowers and plants present themselves in a lush green and add a special note to the tropical island. Long lines at customs, no change there, but I guess that's the same in every country. Eli really helped and we could skip the whole line. Getting the bags is a breeze. The short luggage belt usually spills it out on the first or second corner, but getting them out is not.
And we're back.
And back we were, kids still playing in the sewage drains and the rubbish piling up till someone burns it down. And there is our plane heading back to Singapore, a world which couldn't be any more different to ours. And after 8 days we were finally adventurous and brave enough to explore the place behind the bushes. Not too shabby, I must admit. By the time I upload this video, we experienced so much that I have to cover those 4 months in a separate video. If you like this video, you can subscribe, or you can also shoot us a message and we'll put you on a news list. That's all for now, and I'll catch you later.